Ciao a tutti, sono Manu di Italy Made Easy. Welcome back to this small series that I'm creating for an awesome blog called Italy Wise that helps you prepare for moving to Italy, whether you're migrating for good or temporarily. Great resource. And here's the first question that I was asked by Jed, the person who runs the blog. How and why did you decide to start teaching Italian? I'm curious because I wonder if it's a love of languages and or love of teaching. I'm also curious as to whether you felt something was missing in many of the programs and methods out there. Your style is fun and engaging, not something I found in a lot of courses. Well, thank you very much. Grazie mille, Jed. So, how did I get started with teaching Italian? In a certain way, I've always taught Italian since I was an adult. When I went to this very technical university in Trieste, in Italy, for translators and interpreters, and it was a very international school. We had a lot of international students, so that's when I started, so back when I was 18, helping people with Italian. Then when I moved to Australia, that's when it all happened by accident, because I was a translator, I was working as a translator. But then my friend, who was a teacher in a private language school teaching Italian, she couldn't teach for a few weeks and she asked me to replace her, and I realized that I actually loved teaching. So eventually I made the switch to teaching Italian, and then I started teaching at the university. So it's been a while. And then YouTube happened. Is it love for languages or is it love for teaching? Right now it's both, that's for sure. I love languages though. Languages have been the main thing of my life. Travel and languages. I've over time learned a bunch of languages, and the main reason why I did that was so that I could travel and connect more with the people from the place. Now, of course, speaking English, I could have thought what many English speakers think, which is, well, I know English, they'll know English. Well, that's not true in some countries, that they don't actually know English, but even when they do, you just do not create the same connection, the same bond. So I've always made a priority of learning a language. When I started teaching on YouTube, that happened by accident. Anyway, I just uploaded some videos that were meant for my private students, and then I realized that I had 100,000 views. But when I decided to actually start teaching actively on YouTube, I had a look at what was available, and yeah, I wasn't happy. Wasn't happy because basically, having the university world in my background and in my career and having what's available online, I realized that the two main approaches were either the academic book, many books, very based on books, grammar drills, like memorizing things, drill, complete test, very dry and very impersonal, and very detached from the reality of why you would want to learn Italian. But then at the other end of the spectrum, you had all the modern way of learning, the Rosetta Stones, all the apps and the Duolingos that make it easy, fun, 30 seconds a day, and then you'll be fluent in Italian. And while they are fun and while they do help you learn some things, I can't say they don't work, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. So there was nothing in between, something that was academic in a certain way and that was actually helping people get it, not just memorize stuff, which is what the new way is, just memorize stuff and you'll be fine. But at the same time, something that would be academic but also entertaining and fun. And I have developed, and I've been improving definitely my channel, wanting to marry these two things. So the academic content with the fun and engaging way of learning. A lot of people have this approach that it's got to be fast. The problem with the language is that, of course, I could make videos that are 3-minute long and I teach you 25, 50, 100 Italian sentences. Like, there's so many on YouTube, but they don't really have you as the focus of the video. They have getting views. So they're just marketing videos. That's not what I'm into on my channel. So my videos, the only hate that I get on my channel is for some people that, oh, I talk too much, they're too long. There is a reason for this madness. You can't watch a 2-minute video where something is told to you and expect your brain to retain it. A language works based on other factors. I'm not gonna get into the details for this, but when you watch a video with me and I go on for 10 minutes about the same thing, and you might think, oh, he repeats himself so much. It's because one of the 10 times that I repeat it might be the one that your brain recalls when it needs to recall it. And that's why so many of my students, 22,000 almost, have been having great success with my method. So yeah, but it all started because I saw that it wasn't out there. Even with the other YouTube channels, some are good, but I noticed that they were explaining difficult things in Italian, and then I could see in the comments all the confused people. I was like, no, I didn't get it. But that's because if you're trying to learn something, then that means that your level is not as high as that thing would be, right? So teaching that thing in Italian is just counterproductive in my world, and so that's what I do, and that's why people love this channel. So thank you very much. Did I answer everything? Yeah, I did. Okay, grazie mille. I'll move on to the next answer for the following question. You've been teaching people how to speak Italian for quite a while. What overarching advice would you give for someone just starting out with learning Italian to set them up for success? Ta-ta.